Hello, my name is Claire Chung, and I am the Open Research Librarian. Today we're just going to have a quick look at the new Canterbury Christchurch University Research Portal, also known as Pure. So I'm just going to give you a brief look at it. Please do let us know if you have any more questions about this in the future. We do have an email address, which is the same as it was before, which is just repository@canterbury.ac.uk. So just looking at the front page of the portal, we've got the search box there where you can search for people or outputs or research units, so schools or faculties. So you can use the search, and I would recommend using the matching text search. You can also do an advanced search if you want to. So looking at these sections here, we've got the profiles, which is obviously all the people that are attached or have written the or created the research outputs. Then we have the research units, which is faculties and schools and other research centres. We have research outputs, which is all the things that everyone has produced through their research endeavours. So we have, as you probably remember from the previous repository, it's not just articles, we also have book chapters, things like performances, compositions, recordings, artifacts and exhibitions, and all sorts of other things. So it's quite a wide variety of research outputs, and you can see there we have over 16,000 in there now, which is really good. We also have data sets, so as you're probably aware that a lot of funders now are requesting or requiring that people make their data open when they're doing their research. And one way to do that is to put it on a repository like this one. We also have student theses. So again, these are the same as before. These theses are all the doctoral theses and the Masters by Research theses that have been completed since 2015. So there's just a blurb there about the research portal. And as I mentioned earlier, the email address is also there if you need to contact us. So we've got a new feature, which is the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So you'll see as you go through Pure that these are linked to people and their outputs to show where the Christchurch has done work within these areas. So it's really good for our profile for people to be able to see that those are the sorts of things that we're involved with. We can also see where we've been involved with different projects across the world. So if you hover over one of these blue circles, you can see the country's name, and if you click on it, you can then see what we've been doing with that country. So it will tell us the university that we've worked with or the institution we've worked with, and then the outputs that we've produced with them. So you can then click on that research output and see it. You can also see this in the list view if you prefer. So if we go back to the top, we'll just have a quick look at the sections. So profiles are just in alphabetical order, but you can rearrange them if you want to, and also filter them again by the SDGs. But there's also other ways to filter them as well. So we can also just search for a person. So if I search for myself, I think there's only one Chung, so that's me. So if you click on the person, you can then see their profile. And researchers should all have a profile on Pure, and we do encourage you to update these with your outputs, but also if there's any information you would like to add, for example, your ORCID, so you can see that I've done that there. And then once your ORCID is linked, you'll be able to update your ORCID from your Pure profile and vice versa. So once that's set up. So fingerprint is there, which shows the different areas that I've been working in. Obviously, I don't have many outputs because I'm not an academic member of staff, but I do have some, and I know a lot of some of the people in professional services also have outputs. So you can just see my outputs there. And if you click on the fingerprint tab, you can see the different areas I've been working again. But on this part here, if you've got a lot of outputs, it looks more interesting. But for mine, because I don't have many, we can see how it works. So it just shows all the links with different institutions, but obviously for people who have done a lot of research, there's a lot more on it. and you can see all the different people they've worked with, and the different people, so externally and internally. So it's quite cool to see that. And then the research outputs again, so it's just my list of research outputs. And then you can see people's several similar profiles. So if you're interested in that particular areas that a person has been working on, you can see people that are similar to them in terms of what they've been doing research on. So you would know who to work with if you wanted to do similar things. So so that's the profile. So we go back to the overview, and then go back to the home button. So we'll have a look now at the research output page, and you'll see this is just to show you really about this, so the metrics and the PlumX metrics that we have on here. So you may be familiar with our metrics from the old repository. We also now have PlumX metrics, and these will show on anything that's got a DOI number, which is a digital object identifier, which is most journal articles and some book chapters and books as well. So that's quite useful. So if you want to click on it to see a research output, just click on the title, and then you can see the output. So we can see here that this is the Christchurch author, and then we have an external author there and it tells you where he was from as well. So we've got the abstract and the bibliographic information. We've also got citation information at the bottom, which can be quite useful. And you can also, because it's an open access article, you can access this from the page here. So we can just click on that and we can see what the license is. So with the Creative Commons license there, which is also quite helpful. So you know how you can use it. So if we look now at research units, we can see at the moment they're just in a big list, but you can show them by hierarchy, which you may find easier to find schools and departments within there. And then we also have lists here where you can filter using different options there. So if we go into a unit, and then we can see the sort of where it is, and so it tells you which faculty, which school it's in, and it gives you it will show you all the profiles of the people who are working within that unit. It shows the research outputs for that unit, the numbers there, and then it lists them under here, so you can view them all if you want to. So it'll show you them in different sections. So you've got sections for research output, data sets, and the student theses separately. So you can also do a fingerprint for the unit. So that's quite useful if you want to see all the things that have been done and sort of touched upon within that unit. So if you click on one of those items, you can then see all the other things that have been written or created to do with that particular topic. So again, it's really useful for people, not just internally, but also externally. If people want to collaborate with us on something, they can see what we've been doing, who's done it, and then they can hopefully contact those people and work together with them. So it's really helpful. So yeah, if we go back to the home again. So the data sets is just a list of data sets, so, which, as I mentioned before, it's probably going to get a longer list as people have to make their data open now a lot more. And then there's the student theses. Again, it's quite a long list, but you can filter it by the different award types and years of study, and also again the research units. Okay, so that's a really quick run through of the research portal. So please do let us know if you have any queries, and there will be training available through the Recom training, and I'm also happy to talk to people and help them on a one-to-one basis. So do let us know if you're interested in training for yourself or for a group. So thank you very much for listening.